Oh, hello. In today's video, we're going to try and do a kill team battle report, Starstriders versus Void Dancers. So I was playing my Starstriders into Zimbad's Void Dancers, most of whom are pictured here. This is actually an old picture. He was playing the full Void Dancer team. We played this game last night, so you'll have to bear with my amazing memory. Let's go through the actual kind of the game parameters itself first of all. So we were playing Mission B Secure on the layout number 9, front line, so it's corner deployment. Now, obviously, we didn't know this at the start, but Zimbad's tac ops that he chose were Seek and Destroy, Route and Eliminate Guards, as well as the Mythic Play Faction tac op. Meanwhile, I had the recon deck, so I was taking Surge Forward and Recover Item, along with the Reputation to Maintain faction tac op. So let's get into turn 1. I'm going to have to draw some circles and arrows and run you through what happened in turn 1. So you can see down here on the left-hand side, this is where we deployed at the start of turn 1. So let's first of all see what's happened in the scouting phase. You can see that Zimbad had a dash, so he's got a Harlequin up the front here. I had Fortify, so I've got a barricade up here. And I used the Starstriders' ability to take a second scouting option, so I had an order flip as well. So as for my deployment, I've got an ordinary Starstrider with a lasgun out here, on engage, just because they weren't profiting from their from conceal potentially. I've got my chain gun up here on conceal. I'm obviously thinking that might be where I use my order flip. He's behind his line, so he's pretty well untargetable there. The engine seer is up here, and next to him is the little dog. And then basically everybody else is crowded around the back. So in the corner here, there's a lasgun trooper. Then there's another lasgun trooper by the door. We've got the shotgun wielding Voidmaster here. We've got the assassin and Euclidean Vein and the medic all sort of on the ground behind here. For Zimbad's part, he has 2 players up here behind this barricade. The player that he's dashed forward, there's another player here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 players. A player up here, 5 players. He's got his leader you can't see, is totally obscured by this building, is basically just behind the door here. And then he's got the Death Jester here, all in black, and the Shadow Seer here. So let's have a little look what happened in Turning Point 1. And this might not be the order that everything happened in, but we will cover all of the main events. So these 2 Harlequins up here, this one moved up onto here like this, and this Harlequin moves over to here like this, and captures this objective for the Harlequin team. So you can see he's there, and then the other one is down in there like that. The Harlequin here managed to come forwards and take this objective. The Harlequin that is here just moves to here and takes this objective. The Harlequin here moves down here and is just standing behind there. Now, for my side as the Starstriders player, this las rifle had come up here into here to take the objective here. The las rifle here has moved down into here. Okay. The engine seer has moved up here, claimed this objective, and he turned on his D6 mortal wounds if you come within a circle of me. I had placed my token that I need to retrieve for my secondary, but unfortunately my dog wasn't quite able to, because I'd started him kind of here. My dog wasn't quite able to get round to get that objective, so I moved the dog up to this point here with a view to getting the objective next turn. My chain gun guy actually basically didn't do anything. He double passed at the end of the turn, but his presence on the field did essentially stop the Harlequins from being able to move exactly where they would like to move. My assassin came out of here. She ran up to the front here and threw a crack grenade at the Harlequin up here. Didn't kill him, unfortunately. And then she, in turn, was taken out by the Death Jester, who was able to get shot off there. The Death Jester, having shot, has then kind of gone back down behind the heavy cover here because Paul had Domino Field going. So, having shot, he would have been vulnerable to being orbital bombardmented by the guy down here, for example, or anywhere else really on the board where I could draw line of sight to him. So I then followed up with the Rogue Trader, who came again up this way, and you can see her here on the end of the turn, and she tried to finish off this Eldar with her indirect pistol, but you can see that he's still stubbornly there on 4 wounds, just some bad rolls from me there. I brought up my medic, you can see her here to stand behind the trader, just in case she was killed, but before I could do that, Zimbad did manage to use his Shadow Seer on my Rogue Trader, which I kind of forgot he could do. However that mechanic works, he only managed to do one wound. So that was not really any never mind. And then my Voidmaster, who I never quite know what to do with the Voidmaster. The Voidmaster had moved through here, through the door up here to buy the oil rig. So there's the Voidmaster there, just kind of chilling out. And finally, I had a ordinary lasgun that came up from behind here and moved up to there. So a reasonable turn one. We've got 3 primaries each. I have lost an assassin, sadly, but I have nearly killed one of the Harlequins between that and Euclidia. Euclidia's gotten some damage onto her tally, but really a turn of positioning and setup for turning point 2, which would turn out to be a lot of the time when Zimbad and I play. Turning point 2 is the turn where really the game happens. So let's have a look at turning point 2. Now, there was a lot that went down in turning point 2, quite frankly. A lot of things. So the first thing that happened in turning point 2 is Euclidia here. She shot again at the Harlequin up on the roof, killed Harlequin there, and then my plan was to move around to here and capture the objective, but I'd forgotten that there was another player basically stood here. So once Zimbad pointed out to me, like, oh, you can't do that because I got a player here, I'm like, oh, okay, in that case, I will charge. So she actually killed this Harlequin. She ran around here and killed this Harlequin, which I was pretty pleased with. So that's got me well on the way to scoring 2 points for my attack up here, reputation to maintain, right? So I've basically got those 2 victory points down. That's really solid. So that's good. Zimbad, for his part there, he's kind of the flank. We kind of ended up basically just moving around the flank. So his flank here, he's now got no Harlequins over on the. Sorry, I should get the laser pointer. He's now got no Harlequins kind of left on the left hand side. But meanwhile, I've got very, very little really on the right hand side here of my own. So he brought down another Harlequin. Sorry. Second. just jogging my memory. He brought down another Harlequin here, so I'll show you that now with the pen. So this Harlequin here, okay, came down to this location here, right? So that's him. That's him there. Okay. Now what I was able to do, my lasgun trooper, here, basically came round the corner here. You can see him there. Okay. Shot this Harlequin with a lasgun. Didn't kill the Harlequin with the lasgun, but then Zimbad didn't come back and kill my Navy guy in his next activation. So I was able to call down the guided shell from the Navis support. So I wasn't able to use the support in the first turn, but I called down the guided shell from the Navis support, which actually kills this Harlequin outright and reduces this Harlequin to 5 wounds. So that was pretty good as turns go. So what else is going on? So the dog here grabs the booty and makes his way back to about this point here when I assumed he was safe. Unfortunately, Zimbad uses his Shadow Seer, again with that power where you roll a handful of dice and you're looking at doubles. Only manages to do a few wounds to the dog, so the dog's left on 2 wounds. Again, I don't know. I messed up basically this secondary quite a lot, so yeah. Up here, I've got my chain gun guy. He again did nothing for the entire turning point. He just ended up double passing, which is kind of tragic. My engine seer came through here. Now I've messed something up. My Euclidia didn't kill this second Harlequin here. I think she'd wound him, but my engine seer comes through. The engine seer takes a shot at this second Harlequin as well with his charged pistol. This still doesn't quite kill him. I think he was hanging around on a couple of wounds there. And then I brought up the Void Master as well here. So the Void Master's up here, okay? And again, a shot here on him. So I'm trying to get into my opponent's territory. Unfortunately, it was the Void Master, sorry, not Euclidia. The Void Master that was ultimately killed by the sniper there. So we're both losing a lot of pieces, a lot of key pieces. So I've got the Void Master left up here, but unfortunately I need 4 APL of wounds left in the turn. At one point, Zimbad's leader comes out and comes up, and I think he helps wound the Void Master. He comes to here, shoots, and then dashes back to here. So that's the leader that you can see there. But a really bloody turn. You can see that Zim's really got his Shadow Seer and his Void, and his Shadow Seer, sorry, and his sniper, and his leader down here, and this Harlequin here with the fusion pistol. I am left really. I've got the dog here. I've got my Void Master up here. I've got a single guardsman, so a lasgun guy that had come sort of from here up to here, not really knowing what to do with that character. And I've got another lasgun guy down here that called down the orbital barrage. And that is really it. So between us, we've lost a lot of key pieces that turn. A very bloody turn. Unfortunately, if we go back and look at the secondaries, so I've now scored, not technically the end of the game, but I've scored 2 points on Reputation to Maintain. I'm scored 1 so far on Recover Item, because my dogs hold that for the end of turn. I've not managed to score any on Siege Forward. Meanwhile, Zimbad is nominating and eliminating guards, so he's scored 1 on eliminate guards. He's scored at least 1 on route as well, and I'm not sure exactly when he scored both of these, but rest assured, anyone who's played Void Dancers know that there's almost nothing you can do to stop them scoring Mythic Play. So he was scoring that one as well. So I'm really struggling just because I cannot seem to score Surge Forward. I did get one guy up the field, but it's just very difficult on the corner deployments. Moving into turning point 3, despite me having had quite a good turn last turn, turning point 3 is where it all starts to go a bit wrong. So my dog is killed by the enemy Shadow Seer, who then moves. I think she moves across to here. Okay, my shotgun guy, who is starting to turn down on 3 wounds, is, I believe, killed by the leader, who then makes his way down to here. On this side of the board, I came out with my Navis guy, tried to lasgun this Harlequin. I don't think I accomplished anything, and the Harlequin turns around and fusion pistols me. So he's struggling as well. He's killed as well. So it's all going a bit wrong. I did though manage to. This was the turn that I managed to get the laser beam, the one shot, the very powerful off-board support. I call that down on the Death Jester. I think it was from this character here, or maybe it was from the sergeant. But either way, the Death Jester survives annoyingly on 1 wound, because Harlequins, of course, having an invulnerable save, are not that phased by the AP2. So then Zimbad decides to start moving out his Death Jester here, and very rapidly, by the end of turning point 3, I've not killed any. I'm being mopped up, essentially. Despite a very kind of even-handed and bloody turning point 2, turning point 3, just I don't have the resources left to hold it. I end up moving my chain gun guy, who didn't fire a single shot the whole game. He comes down to stand next to the dog, where the dog died rather, to hold this objective, to try and score that second VP. At the end of turning point 2 and the end of turning point 3 as well, we're both scoring. So each turn we'd scored 3 each on the primary so far. So it's coming down to these secondaries. I've now got the second point here, so there's no way with what I've got left I'm scoring anything on recon. So I finished there with 4 on my secondaries, whereas Zimbad at this point has maxed his secondaries. So that's turning point 3. And as we come into turning point 4, alas, I neglected to take a photograph at the very end of the game. Turning point 4, though, at the start of turning point 4, all I had left was this chain gun man. And so what I tried to do was first of all, I called down my orbital barrage onto the enemy leader. He then moved forward and fusion pistoled me. It killed me, but he didn't overkill me by enough to wipe out my reputation to maintain tally, so I still got those 2 secondary points. And then he was able to come forwards and, claim effectively all the objectives. So the Shadow Seer was able to come through here and claim this. This was able to come down here and claim this. And this was able to come over here and claim this. Which, although you can only score 4 from the primary, he was able to stop me scoring. If he'd only claimed 1 to score 4, I would have still scored 2. By turning them all off, he was able to stop me from scoring. So by the end of the game, Zimbad had effectively maxed, right, everything. Whereas I was on, 3, 6, 9 primary points plus 4 secondaries, so 13 altogether to Zimbad's 18. Not a bad account for myself. I enjoyed the game. I just need to get better at the secondaries picking part, essentially. I do struggle with that. I really think that maybe Surge Forward, for all people talking up as an easy to score tac op, in corner deployments against Harlequins, obviously I don't think it was the right pick. I've had a bit of a thought about what else I should have probably picked in that scenario. I'm not sure. I hadn't played against Trooper in a long time. Not to wheel out the excuses, but Zimbad does like to move his teams around a lot, which makes it it's good because I get experience against a lot of different teams, but it's vexing sometimes because I don't about 3 times I just forgot that the Shadow Seer could shoot on conceal with its thing where it rolled loads of dice, and it could apparently shoot much more easily, than I assumed that I could. assumed that he could draw line of sight much more easily. So yeah, that was challenging. Like, I'm aware this video format's not great for some reason. I find it much easier to do a battle report for the Horus Heresy or potentially for games like 40k than I do for games like Kill Team. But hopefully that you've got something out of it, which would be great. And I hope to get another video out tomorrow. Potentially another battle report, because I am playing another game tomorrow. Although obviously I'll wait to see your feedback on this one. But it has only been a 20-minute video, so hopefully someone enjoyed it and got something out of it. Yeah, if you like the video, please do let me know, because as you can probably hear, I'm not particularly confident that this has been the best video I've ever made, but there you go. And again, any feedback, constructive criticism, all very much welcome. If you liked it, please do give the video a like, and if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Have a look at some of the other videos on the channel. There's many that I'm very proud of. Yeah, so that's roughly it for today. Cheerio, everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Bye bye.